Do not watch this video if gross injustice by cop angers you. If you are subject to being infuriated over things, specifically injustice in our land, buckle yourself in, sign the waiver, and get ready for a wild ride. As I start this video, I just want to point out to you what the City of Scottsdale Police Department has to say about themselves with their words. Here's what their words say about themselves from their own website. Scottsdale Police Department is an accredited full-service agency committed to excellence, initiative, and integrity. That sounds so good. Let's listen to what the Chief of Police says. This is Jeff Walther. Thank you for visiting the City of Scottsdale Police Department website. Recently appointed as police chief, I am honored to serve alongside men and women of Scottsdale Police Department. We have a dedicated group of sworn officers, civilian employees, and volunteers committed to safeguarding the lives and property of the Scottsdale community. Their commitment to accountability and the delivery of police services to citizens that live, work, and visit our city has continually resulted in Scottsdale being recognized as one of America's safest cities. That's who the Scottsdale Police Department is, according to them, with their words. Let's find out what the City of Scottsdale Police Department is in their actions. And hang on to your seats, guys.
How awful would this be? You're out in Scottsdale for dinner or drinks and some random person does this.
Then you come back to your car to find the window smashed and you have no idea why. Now imagine you flag down a police officer for help and you end up getting handcuffed and arrested for a hit and run you didn't commit.
That's exactly what happened to an Innocent Valley woman. She was stripped naked, had blood forcibly drawn, and her mugshot splashed all over the internet. Tonight,
and the police had zero evidence that she had done anything. Wait till you hear the story. And the more the story progresses, the worse and worse it gets for the Scottsdale Police Department. And let me just ask you this before we even get started. Can you identify any of those good cops that we always hear about in this video?
Shares her story with ABC 15 investigator Dave Biscabing.
It raises serious concerns about officers who refuse to listen and take a few extra minutes to learn the truth.
For the moment where it was like, oh my God, I've lost control. It's over.
Yes, exactly when he told me to put my hands behind my back, and I did, and that's when everything went black.
And that's because for the past 45 minutes, nothing Yessie Garcia said or did mattered. She was repeatedly called a liar and falsely accused by Scottsdale police.
She was repeatedly called a liar by people who are trained to lie so that they can extract information so that people can incriminate themselves, so they can make that arrest and increase the coffers of the state, because it all goes into the cycle, man. The city council works with the police work with the judges, and it's just this big racket. It's this big money-making racket. This, if there was any takeaway from a video like this, it's always record the police. Always.
We'll get back to her arrest in a moment, but first, let's start at the beginning. May 24th, 2020, Yessie and her then boyfriend park in this spot around 8:45 p.m. Then around 10:02, this guy decides to jump on the hood and stomp on the windshield before running off. Yessie gets back to her car about an hour later.
The windshield was just shattered, and I was just kind of shocked.
No idea what happened.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I was kind of shocked, and at that time there was some police officers on their bicycles, not too far from there, and
so this woman, Yessie, is calling for help. She is asking the cops to help her, and then she's going to end up getting strip searched, arrested, handcuffed, fingerprinted, mugshotted, and caged. She's the one that asked for help.
We got them.
Is this your car, you said?
Now here's what the couple didn't know. A half hour earlier, police were called to a hit and run pedestrian crash. And here's a map. This is where Yessie's car was parked. This was the hit and run. They're 0.3 miles apart. So when police saw the smashed windshield, case closed. And as you're about to see, nothing was going to change their mind.
I know that you're talking about.
This is the first thing a supervisor, Sergeant Brian Steele, tells Yessie.
Your car was just involved in a hit-and-run collision where a pedestrian was hit.
That's a lie. That's a lie. He has no proof of that at all. As a matter of fact, almost everything this officer and his buddy officers say are lies.
And don't make faces like you don't know what I'm talking. But listen to me.
Oh my God.
Listen
Okay.
to me. Leaving the scene of an injury accident is a felony. This isn't my first day. I know that you were driving and you were worried about it because you're drinking. If you
I came
listen
to get
me.
my cigarettes. You can ask the hi-fi security guard. Like,
Then how did your car have damage on your
I
windshield?
have no idea.
Okay.
I have no
listen to
idea.
me. Because of the nature of the incident and the injuries, if you continue to say we don't know that you're driving and you don't know what happened to your car, we're going to do DNA tests and all sorts of other
Absolutely,
things to
yes.
the car, and it's going to show that you were in the driver's seat. But the problem is,
listen,
Her friend got the same treatment.
I'm not going to listen to you because
Even with cameras, they lie. Can you imagine what they would do if things weren't being recorded? Guys, it gets worse and worse and worse. They even have evidence to show that she's not guilty. I'm jumping ahead. Here we go.
you're lying to me. The problem is as you guys left, we're involved in a collision, you panicked, you pulled over here.
No, we did not. No, we did not.
Okay.
You cannot pin that. You're not pinning that on us because that is not the truth.
You're not listening to me.
I'm listening to you.
You're not
saying that this vehicle was involved.
Listen,
in
stop
a hit
talking
and
for
run.
a second. You're not listening to me.
Officers refused to believe they had just come from a nightclub and had been there for hours.
Let me show you the transactions. Let me show you the transactions.
I don't need to see the transactions.
Why? Why? Because it validates my truth.
Look at that. He was going to show proof of where he had. Obviously, he was going to show transactions from his phone. I don't know what the transaction would be, but he was going to try to show proof to justify, hey, I got an alibi. I can show you. I can show you electronically exactly where we were. We could probably go into the club that we were in, and everybody can vouch for the fact. Yeah, we were here from this time to this time or thereabouts. You can pull up all the security cameras, which they end up doing.
No, there's evidence that you can't dispute.
That's not evidence about anything.
There's a person that hit the windshield.
Nobody hit the windshield.
Okay.
This car.
All right, I'm not going to argue with you, man.
Won't argue, but police would lie to him repeatedly.
I already know she was driving. I'm not stupid. We have witnesses and we have cameras. I'm trying to help protect you guys now because now you're lying to us. She has glass on her clothing like an explosion, like small shards of glass.
Another
Did you
lie.
have glass on your shirt?
No, not at all.
Body camera video shows officers shining flashlights on Yessie, claiming they see glass on her top.
If you look from an angle, there's little specks of it on her shirt.
Where?
And like we said earlier, leading to her arrest, there was nothing Yessie could say or do to change their mind.
I said I didn't do this. That's all I could say. And
That's called guilty until proven innocent. Let's go back to the City of Scottsdale website. Scottsdale Police Department is a accredited full-service agency committed to excellence, initiative, and integrity. I'm not seeing any integrity going on in this video right here.
yeah, I just wanted them to believe me.
She was taken to the station, and because they claimed glass was on her clothes, Yessie says she had to strip naked.
Pretty embarrassing and just humiliating.
Was that before or after they took your blood?
That was the
Took her blood.
first thing. And then they walked me out, they sat me down in this chair.
She asked to see the warrant first, but Officer Ben Roberson refused.
Okay, can I see that?
When we're done, I don't have time to waste you reading documents. I've served you, that's all I need to do. And if you don't put your arm out, you're gonna be strapped down. We don't want that. Put your arm out so we don't have to tie you down like an animal.
He also misses her.
Put your arm out so we don't have to tie you down like an animal. These people are sadistic, man. These people are violent. They don't care about individuals. They're not treating this woman as though it was this officer's sister or mother or girlfriend or wife. They're not treating this person the way they would want to be treated. She simply asked for the warrant. They didn't have it. He said he would give it to her later. They didn't have the warrant. There was no evidence to issue a warrant.
Vain, and then blames her.
See, you made me miss by moving.
Here's what else police missed or ignored. This video, obvious, indisputable proof that Yessie is innocent. Officers had this surveillance video before she was handcuffed or
Who is this guy? Who does that? Who jumps up on top of somebody's car and damages their property? Listen to this. The cops knew this happened. They had the timestamp. They could have let this woman go, and they didn't.
Brought to the station, an officer went to a nearby building, spoke to a security guard, had him pull up the footage.
The call came out at 10:48. So if we go back to like 10:40.
In the police report, Officer Nicholas Fay wrote, video review was inconclusive to show if the vehicle had left and come back or remained there the entire time, based on the constant pan of the camera. But that's not true. The camera pans back and forth about every 30 seconds, and the car always there. Police arrested.
Now ask yourself, why would they lie? What does that individual officer who lied on his report have to gain by keeping this woman in prison and not understanding that that evidence shows that she actually wasn't involved in the hit and run? If they are going to lie about this, the guy had his body camera rolling. There's the clear HD video from the surveillance cameras from that parking lot, and he still lies on the report. Can you imagine what these people do when they don't think there's a surveillance camera around? When something's not recording their actions? This is so egregious. It's insane.
SC for 2 counts of DUI and failure to stop at the scene of an accident causing injury or death.
I couldn't believe.
This is called literally going out of your way, hurdling over evidence to ruin somebody's life.
I had cooperated. I had done everything.
Actually, you have to pole vault over the evidence. There was so much evidence that they didn't do it. And can you imagine how she would probably be in jail for the rest of her life if there wasn't a parking lot surveillance camera panning back and forth?
Thing that they asked me to.
And hang on, there's more. It gets even worse.
I guess the fact that they just wouldn't check the cameras.
Several days after her arrest, Yessie hired a defense attorney who tracked down his own copy of the video and sent police a timestamp version. That's when Scottsdale dropped the charges. But the damage was done because the morning after her arrest, her mugshot already on the news and all.
Let me just make a note on this too. Look how bad her mugshot looks. You know why? She was literally terrorized by the cops, probably cried her eyes out for hours. Of course you're going to look bad. This makes me think, hey, next time I see a mugshot, I'm not even going to believe that person's a criminal because the cops told me they were. I'll just have to believe the exact opposite, because this right here, this is an innocent woman who they make look really, really bad in these mugshots.
Over the internet, even the New York Daily News. Yessie filed a lawsuit in late May, but she's dropping the suit. Attorneys tell her because of qualified immunity, it will be too difficult to hold the officers accountable.
Why?
Well, get another attorney, because you have an ironclad case here. Ironclad. You were abused. You were terrorized. You were kidnapped. You were caged. The blood was drawn. They violated you. They humiliated you, stripped you down to nothing.
Why are we sitting down here? Why is this a story you're willing to tell?
To clear my name. Clear my name, and even for don't believe everything. I know everyone says that, but really you have no idea what that person in that mugshot really just went through.
If you didn't park in a spot with a surveillance video, I don't think that you're sitting here in front of me.
No.
I think there's a good chance you're in prison right now.
Right.
That's for a long, long time.
Why, despite everything that happened, Yessie still considers herself lucky.
My heart goes out to all those people that aren't able to be as lucky as I am. That's a hard thought.
I'm investigator Dave Biscobing, ABC 15, Arizona.
There has to be an attorney. One of the main reasons I did this video is because I want you to like and share this video with everybody you know, everywhere you can. Surely there's an attorney out here licking his chops going, you got to be kidding. The case is going to be that easy? We can prove that her car was sitting there the entire time and you guys said she was guilty of a hit and run and you did all this stuff to her? Where do I sign, man? Pro bono. Totally do it for you. No problem. And by the way, Scottsdale Police Department in Arizona, I don't know what police department. Does anybody know what police department Brandon Tatum was a part of? I've heard a lot of bad stuff from Scottsdale Police Department, Phoenix Police Department, the Mesa, Arizona Police Department. There are seriously bad police departments, all of them, in the United States, but some are worse than others, specifically the ones in Arizona and the ones in Colorado. But these Arizona police departments, the Scottsdale Police Department, the way they say that they're, filled with integrity and we have excellence, initiative, and integrity, and what this police chief says about how great his sworn officers are and how they're going to safeguard the lives and property of the Scottsdale community. Here's what needs to happen with every officer involved in the arrest of this woman right here. This police chief, who, by the way, wasn't the police chief when this woman was arrested. This happened 14, 16 months ago. She really needs to get on the case and get an attorney who's going to defend her. And, the bad part about this is if she sues the Scottsdale Police Department, guess who gets left writing the check? The Scottsdale taxpayers. But what needs to happen is Jeff Walther needs to watch this video, or this video right here by ABC 15 Arizona, and he needs to find out every officer that was involved in that criminal kidnapping of this woman, in this torture of this woman, and number one, fire every single one of them. And number two, press criminal charges on them. They're the ones that should have their blood drawn. They're the ones that should be strip searched. They're the ones that should have an orange uniform on and be thrown into a cage for the rest of their lives. For the rest of their lives. That is deprivation of rights under color of law, and they made everything up with video camera evidence.
When we reached out to Scottsdale for comment, a spokesperson told us the case was dropped only because the hit-and-run victim declined to prosecute, not because Garcia was actually innocent.
Can you believe that? Only because the victim declined to prosecute. You had no evidence. Not because we had evidence to show that she was innocent. Listen to this.
To the department's credit, when we later sent video of the windshield stop, the spokesperson followed up with the following statement. Thank you for bringing that portion of the video to our attention. This video does bring up questions that need to be answered. This incident occurred.
No, this video exposes criminals that terrorized another individual, an innocent individual.
14 months ago. However, our new chief, Jeff Walter, takes these matters very seriously and has asked for a formal internal affairs investigation to fully review the incident.
Here's what we need to do. We need to find out who the officers were that were involved in this, because I don't know. I don't know who the officer. I've read quite a few of these comments right here, and I don't know who the officers were who were involved in this. So maybe, somebody in Scottsdale or whatever can do a FOIA request for all the documentation that had to do with jailing this woman right here. Find out who the officers were on the scene, who participated in the act, and call them out by name and badge number, and see if we can get some justice for this woman. This right here will really, really fry your bacon, man. And this police chief, Jeff Walther, I'm talking to you right now. You need to take a look at this video, take a look at the evidence, look at what your officers did, and take the appropriate actions. And you know what justice demands in this. You know who committed the crime. And don't say it's not a crime because a costumed thug committed it. I don't know. I want to hear your comments about this. Leave your comments for the World and the Global Thought Police and the Scottsdale Police Department in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel, one of the best things you can do is like and share this video with everybody you know, everywhere you can on social media. If you want to support further, the Patreon, Bitcoin, and Subscribestar links are in the description in the pinned comment. And if you want to support further, you can grab a hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirt from the shirt store. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.